Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to make a blanket just using the double crochet. Please keep in mind I don't know much about crochet, but I watched some videos and it took me a really long time, but I figured out how to do this and I really like it and I just wanted to share it with everybody else. I am left-handed, so I found it very difficult to flip everything in my head in the videos. So I've actually had some people who do crochet watch me sit and crochet this blanket, work on it, and they're like, that doesn't look right. So if you are familiar with crochet, everything is kind of backwards that I do from what a normal person does. Now if you are lucky enough to be a left-handed person that can rotate everything in your head, then kudos. I cannot do that. It is very hard for me to do. Okay, so what you're going to need is, of course, crochet hook. I'm just using some scrap yarn that I've got in a yarn saver. Now when you go to purchase your yarn that you want to make your blanket with, where are we at? Here we are. Wait for it to focus. Come on, camera. Here we go. You see how... Wait, is that the right one? Yeah. See how it has a crochet hook there? If you look inside the square at the top, it'll have wrote what size millimeter crochet hook you use. In this one it's a 5.5, which that's what I got. A 5.5 millimeter. Alright, now when you start, we start with a slip knot. You just hold the string like this, pull it through. Everybody has different ways that they do a slip knot, and I try to just hold this piece of yarn in my hand to make it a little easier on me. Oh, okay, we'll do it like that. So you got your loop on there, you put yarn over the top, pull it through, and you want these very loose. The blanket on the table in the background was actually, I did my chain cast on my chain here a little too tight, but I'm going to show you something you can do to help with that if you have this problem as well. So you just chain this as long as you want, which I'm just going to chain this long enough for like a little scarf or something and do a couple rows along with you. I'm not going to give you exact numbers, you know, chain 100 or chain 120. Just make your chain, because this is essentially how big it's going to be. So just make your chain and lay it out. The blanket in the background is big enough to cover a full-size bed. And it's taking me forever to do, but I really like it. I like the method. I've got to where I sort of go on autopilot and just go. Okay, so we've got the chain as long as we need it to be. And we are actually going to skip, just so this isn't too tight, you will skip 2 loops, go into the third. You'll skip 2, go into the third. You see that? The loops on there, you'll skip 2, go into the third, skip 2, go into the third with each step. So you're going to wrap the hook once. Okay, we're coming from behind, go into that third one, wrap again, and you're going to go through 2 of them. On the first round I always have trouble just sliding it easily through, but it gets easier as you go. And there you go. You just do 1 set for the first of each row. Now we wrap it again, skip 2, go into the third, go through, pull through 2, wrap it again, pull through the other 2. Now we are wrapping it. We're going to go back into that same loop again and repeat that. So there's the 3. So we wrap, pull through 2, pull through 2. And that's your double crochet right there. So wrap it, go into the 3rd, wrap, pull through 2, and pull through 2, wrap, go back into that same one, pull through 2, and pull through 2, wrap, go. Alright, now when you're at this end, go through that very last knot, and of course you're doing the same. You're going to pull through 2. Oh, it's the wrong string. Here we go. And pull through the other 2. You got this first row done. Now you just need to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. Flip it around to the other side. And there you go. Now what we're going to be doing is you're going to notice these gaps in between the double crochets. That's what you use through this whole thing. So you wrap, go into that hole, pull the yarn through, go through 2, go through 2. Now the first one we always do a single, what we just did. Now we're going to wrap, and we're going to find the second one, which is right past these 2. Go in there, go through 2, go through 2, wrap it again, go back through that same hole. Go through 2, go through 2. So that's what gives kind of that V shape to it. Okay, wrap. Find the next one, go through 2, go through 2, and you do this until you get to the end of your row. Go through 2, go through 2, we're going to wrap it a second time. Go through 2, go through 2, we're going to wrap, and where we went in through the 3rd chain, you see how it kind of curls over. You want the one right at the top of that curl, and you go through it this time, and you're just going to do a single crochet. So you go through 2, go through 2. At this point, do 3, chain 1, 2, and 3. Turn it over to the other side. See? It's all starting to show. Wrap around once, go in through this first hole, wrap around 2, wrap around 2. See, that creates your corner there, so start that row. Wrap around, go into the next hole, pull the yarn through, and you're going to go in that one again. And at this point, you are doing just the exact same thing until you get it as long as you want. And what I like about crochet is that there's no special... Alright, when you get the scarf or blanket or whatever you're making, as long as you want it, what you do, you should go ahead and do that last stitch. And at this point, instead of doing the chain 3, go ahead and cut the string and just pull it through. And there you go, it's done. Only thing you have left to do now is to weave in your ends, which I'll show you how to do that. Let me see, where are we at? Okay. Which, there's a bunch of different ways you can do this. I'm just going to show you what I like to do, because at this point they're already ran through a few different stitches, and so they're locked in, they're not going anywhere. You just want these ends hid. And one thing I like, you just take your crochet hook, just weave them through a few. Try to get it to kind of follow the pattern it's already going. Oops, there we go. And a good way to hide them is to, there we go. I weaved both the ends until they were underneath one of those, and then I tie a knot. Pull it pretty tight, and then cut the yarn right down to the end of that knot. And you just kind of fluff that area up, and you can pull and put the knot right underneath that stitch, and nobody will ever notice. Starting that first one, pull it through, and where you've been doing the double crochets this whole time, there we go, just lock that one in. Where you've been doing the double crochets this whole time, we're going to do a triple, which means you do 3 in each, and then go to the next. Three in the first hole, wrap around, go to the next, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Try that one again. And that will create a border. There's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, that's one way to do your border.